welcome once again to the How Long to Beat podcast. I'm Rick, joined as always by Alex and Paula. Not as always, we're very blessed this week to have Aaron and Viz from Studio Voyager. It's a special episode this week, so we're going to take a break from the usual formatting, and we're going to quiz them all about their upcoming game, What Lies in the Multiverse, a little bit more about them as people, because, you know, there's a game coming, but we've got two humans on the podcast, and that is mostly what counts. Aaron, Viz. First, Aaron, say hello.
Hello.
And Viz.
Hello.
Perfect. Wonderful to have you both on board. I am going to lead over to Alex because Alex is the one that does all the questions. In terms of how we're going to split this, we're going to have a chat about the guys, first of all. If we can squeeze it in, we're going to maybe sort of briefly fire off what we're all been playing this week, stroke at the moment. And then we'll go on to talk about the game in a little bit more detail. And we'll finish off with, to be honest, probably the hook that brought the guys onto the show. How long to beat the game.
Nice.
And that doesn't really work because they didn't join in, and now I'm kind of heartbroken. Alex, do it before I get angry.
Well, welcome. Thank you for coming in. So yeah, we always do like a little interview with guests because we like to know a little more about people's gaming backgrounds and histories and whatnot. So I'll leave it up to you two who answers first and whatnot. But first question is just basically like, what part of the world do you live in? Which I think will be similar for you both. And how does that affect your game?
As you know, we're both from Chile, a very long country in the south of the world, as is Paula. So you already know a little bit of our Chilean culture. As gaming, I'm a special case in Chile, to be honest. I live in the middle of nowhere, in the countryside, so I have lived with the most awful internet ever. To the point that around 2 months ago, I just had 2 megabytes per second as the cap limit of the internet.
Oh God!
And now I have good internet, and now I feel like I'm living up society as a whole. So for me, digital games are not a thing. In case it's not indie games, I bought the Game Pass for this year, and I have living up to indie games because the size of the indie games are around 500 kilobytes, and that was my gaming scenario as a whole, to be honest.
Damn. Yeah, you mentioned something about taking hours to download a game, or
and it's not even a big game. It's like I want to download a 1 gigabyte game, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take a day off. Not using the computer, I leave it there, just downloading because I can do anything with the internet.
No wonder you started making
at the night.
Overnight downloads, yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Christ. No wonder you started making the game. You wouldn't be able to play them otherwise. No, you're all good. This is part of the course. We've got 5 people. It's going to be messy. Sorry, just go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, just a joke. Yeah. Legend says that when I met Aaron through Twitter, that was the moment he had internet connection that year. It was just a coincidence, like all stars aligned, so we could
I was on top of my house with a cell phone.
I must find the connection.
I must meet the line. That line.
Oh my God. Yeah, I guess the cellular signals aligned for you two to meet, basically.
pretty.
It was magical.
Okay, so Aaron, you live in the middle of nowhere, but what about you, Visa? Are you like more populous area?
No, I am like there's a running joke in Chile, like Santiago, which is the capital. Like Santiago is Chile, which obviously isn't because it's like a very small portion of the country, but everything is in Santiago, like everything. So it's really centralized, and a lot of people from other regions of the country like goes here to study at college, some stuff like that. So yeah, like I'm a city person. Like I I don't know where I'm living. Basically, like 2 streets from my house, I'm lost. I need a map for everything. And one time I went to Aaron's house, and I probably would have died if it wasn't for him. Like I was really lost. Absolutely.
And you can't get a map up because you've got no internet there.
No,
Yeah,
no
you
internet.
sound like, you sound like I live in the middle of the jungle now.
But Aaron
Which is
really
true,
lives, like,
actually.
he really lives like in the middle of nowhere because like where he lives, the houses are like really far apart.
Okay.
So
But it's like 1 hour from here, like a train. It's really close, but at the same time, it's like nowhere. But yeah, I'm in the city, the same as Paula. Yeah, I had a decent internet, if that counts.
I remember looking at like a population density map of Chile, and it was just like Santiago, and then it's just like nothing. Like everywhere else with, like, population density.
That's a lie, good sir.
Yeah.
Population density.
Sorry.
Absolutely like this.
That's a lie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Absolutely true.
But I understand because like living in Canada, it's like kind of similar where like basically the cities, it's like huge population density, and then the minute you leave the cities, it's just like everybody lives like 30 minutes away from each other. Like, because I grew up in a like countryside too, where it was like every house is super far away, and so you're just kind of like, okay, unless you live in the city, it's just nothingness. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, nice. So yeah, I guess this was a good question because yeah, living where you're living, Aaron, really does affect your gaming, doesn't it? So I'm guessing What Lies in the Multiverse is going to have a physical edition then, huh?
Don't put us in that spot, please. I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah,
I know
I
the
also
publisher is
just played it
listening,
again.
so I hope so.
Or else you're never going to get to play it, right? Oh, God. But no. Indie
Oh,
Coach.
well, working has been something different, to be honest. Doing, like,
Special.
making the playing the preview of the game or playing all of that. I literally just someone in the call of Discord and can you stream me the game because I cannot play it because I cannot download it. So
Oh man.
yeah. That has been a year. But last month I got good internet. Finally, I feel like I live in the space age. To be honest,
It really...
I was gonna joke. I was gonna
Yep.
joke about you not being able to like download the final build, but like that was low key the reality for you.
no, low key was like that for a long time.
Oh my god.
That's why I asked, because I wasn't sure. Yeah. Nice. Oh, dang. Okay, great. Thank you both. So moving on, though, like, what's your kind of gaming background or, like, preference? Like, what's gaming been like for you? You kind of hinted at it a little bit with, like, the physical, but I'm just curious, like, what kind of games are you into?
I mean, we can go to alphabetical order. So
Alphabetical
Yeah,
order?
okay.
Aaron's like, oh, I guess me again.
I guess me then. As to my game taste, I have been a whip of my whole life. So I play a lot of visual novels. I play a lot of RPGs. I play a lot of story-driven games, to be honest. My favorite series is Kingdom Hearts, and I get a lot of hate about it.
Hey, man. Whatever floats your boat,
well,
right?
in a jokey side, but
No, it's not.
no, but in my heart it is.
I took it
No
as a
pun
joke.
intended. No pun intended.
Yeah, so and because normally visual novels and all of that, they are not very heavy games. So again, it's not very big, so I can play it at my home and don't bother because I can download the game and play for how long? Around 100 hours, so it's fine. But to be honest, I'm not a gaming side of things. I don't play a lot.
Okay.
I always
he's a
introduce,
manga themed.
I always introduce myself as I don't play a lot. I love games, but I don't play a lot. I know a lot of games because I love because I can play because internet and all the whole thing. I love Let's Plays too much, way too much. It takes my life.
Hey man, that's gaming.
Yeah, it's gaming, so I guess.
I mean, that's a whole new thing too, right? Like, I think even myself, because like I kind of grew up like a little bit, kind of before Let's Plays really took off. But I think about kids these days, like half of them have watched more games than I've played. So
I have been watching Let's Plays since ever. So I have been watching the growth of what a Let's Player is. To be honest, like I have been following people for around 6 years, and you're like, yeah, that's their whole career, and you don't understand how they grew up as a person and all the social parasocial relationships and all that. But still,
I remember the days of Let's Plays being like split up into like 30 chapters,
Yeah.
like 10-minute videos.
Or I remember the 10 minutes videos that's like, or people just playing the whole game and don't making too many commentary, to be honest. And now we have streaming, now we have all of that, so it's a weird age we are living in.
I guess it kind of makes sense. I have an older brother, so I grew up in that position where it's really like normal and fun to watch someone play the game, especially when they don't let you play the game. But yeah, it's fun. It's a weird phenomenon. Phenomenon? What's the word?
Yeah,
I don't know what's the word.
Yeah.
it is a word now.
Yeah, phenomenon.
No.
Now it's a word.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's good. That's funny. You made me laugh because like I am the older brother of my family, so like I was the one where my brothers would watch me playing games. It wasn't even so much that I wouldn't let them. They just kind of, it was weird. Like my younger brothers weren't actually interested in playing the games. They more wanted to watch because I think they weren't very good at the age that I was.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
No, that's what you were saying. You're like, no, you're not good. Let me show you how to do it. Like,
I was the nerd.
what about you,
I
Viz?
am
Where you got the mic?
Wait, sorry.
I was just prompting you. This is another classic.
No
ahead.
worries.
Happens.
Yeah, what are your gaming backgrounds or preferences?
Mine. I'm not too different, to be honest. I grew up like playing only Game Boy Advance emulated games on PC because I never had a console as a child. So I played a lot of RPGs over and over. That was mostly my gaming, like really narrative stuff. And then when I became older, I started playing like consoles, fighting games, different type of stuff. I'm really into online card games. Like now, for example, I play a lot of Legends of Runeterra. It's one of my favorite games, basically. I like competitive games a lot. But yeah, if I'm playing by myself, I like narrative stuff. It's something I enjoy truly. I like to be immersed in stories and I don't know, like being immersed in this type of worlds. I like a lot of fantasy, like lots of fantasy stuff. So I always been really into RPGs. But now, I also don't play much. It's just like online stuff with friends or CCGs by my camp.
That's fair. I
So, yeah.
suppose if you guys are making games all the time, you're like, need a break.
Yeah, that happens. It's a really weird thing. Like people, every game developer says that the more you make games, the less you play games. Actually, it's kind of a really weird effect. But it's at some parts. Like when I started, like at the very beginning of making the game, I played a lot. Like that was my most intense gaming year, like my whole life. I played like over 100 indie games. Like, it was too much. I like short games also, so that was useful for that.
Getting your research done.
Yeah, a lot.
I get what you're saying though. Like I'm a theater director, and like it was so funny because like I do it, and people are like, "Oh, do you want to go see a play?" And I was like, "I'd rather kill myself." Like I don't want to. Like like because like when you're working on something so intensely, you're just like, I don't want to go back to work a little bit. Like there's that feeling of like, let's work a little bit. And it's not because I don't like it. It's just I don't know. There's like a switch that happens. I don't know, but do you feel like when you play games now, do you find yourself like analyzing them a little bit more as you play them?
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes I'm more like conscious about it. Like I'm playing this game and I want to know what makes this game good. But sometimes I'm just chilling, and then I notice I'm thinking like, how the fuck does this game was designed? Like, I can imagine the developers working on this, and like it's really weird. It's really weird. With Aaron, it happens a lot. We play some games, but together, and most of our commentary is about the design of the game. It's terrible. It's really annoying.
It's terrible.
See, I had a feeling this would be because that's sorry. This is part of why I've dabbled in game design stuff, but I realized I was like, I think I like playing them more because you gotta ask yourself the question of like, do you want to make or do you want to enjoy? And it's like with theater for me, it's like if I go see a play with friends now, we'll just talk about like all the decisions that they made for that play and why they're bad. No, you're just like your brain.
It's really difficult to like turn off that switch.
Yeah.
But that's why I like watching people play a lot. Because that's a lot more relaxing, and it puts you already in a mood of just chilling and enjoying. You don't have that much control over the game, so I don't know. It's a lot more relaxed, and I don't know what was my point.
No, that's great.
But it's fun watching people. It's fun watching people play.
I like how we rolled back to the Let's Plays. That's a good way of looking at it too. Yeah, a relaxed way to enjoy games.
It's a full circle line.
Yeah, we came right in. Love
to be
it.
honest, as a game developer, Let's Players are the best thing because you watch people play games and you're not technically watching the game, but watching the people enjoy the game, and that's why I enjoy it a lot because normally if you're playing a game, you're focusing in the game. If you're watching a Let's Play, you're focusing on the person that's playing the game, so you're watching them enjoy it on their own way.
Yeah.
I think that's why game developers also like very much the Let's Players.
Nice. Well, hey, maybe we'll somehow, when What Lies in the Multiverse gets released, we'll do a How Long to Beat podcast Let's Play of What Lies in the Multiverse. We'll make it happen.
That is an excellent idea.
Did somebody say how long to stream the HLTB podcast vertical?
Yay!
How long to stream? Nice. That's great. There you go. You heard it here first. So you can hold us to that eventually. We'll have to get you guys to come back to react to the streams. It'll be a whole thing. We'll just keep going back and back. Nice. Okay, so we heard a little bit then. So actually, this is a fun one that I like to ask, but I guess not just like your console of choice, but like what's your favorite console or handheld that you play? Because I heard you mentioned like GBA and stuff, and so I'm curious what your like favorite gaming device and or platform is.
I love the GBA. It's my favorite one. It has all the games in there are my favorites. But I haven't touched ever a GBA, a real GBA in my life. So I can't say that it's my favorite one because I haven't touched it. But I have very good memories with the PS2 because Kingdom Hearts, as I said. And I really like my 3DS and my Switch. So I have been a Nintendo person for a long time, to be honest. But yeah, I think my favorite one is the 3DS. It's the one that I enjoy it the most, to be honest.
Nice.
Follow-up question: do you use the 3D at all?
I do. I like the 3D.
That's the right answer. That is the
because
right answer.
I had this beautiful thing that is the Kid Icarus stand. The Kid Icarus surprising.
Where's mine gone? I literally had it out.
I use it
Mine is
also for
somewhere,
the
and I
Switch.
don't want to
Oh,
try it.
I also use it for the Switch. So I think this is in the perfect position
fuming
to
that it's
play with the 3D.
gone.
Also, I think that's the reason I use glasses. So
Ah.
See, you're a
This
man
is-
of culture. It's
Oh,
exactly
this
the
is
same thing.
podcast.
Rick's having a
is
mini existential crisis. He's like, "Where's my Kid Icarus stand?"
And on top
I
of
have
that,
a 3DS here.
shit tier
I have a
podcast
3DS
content.
here.
Me
Yeah.
looking for a Switch and vocalize, not a Switch. A 3DS
Vocalizing what are you
stand.
looking at?
Vocalizing.
This is
Like,
chaos
that's
now.
absurd.
It's just descended into chaos. It only took 20 minutes to descend into chaos. That's impressive.
Oh,
Yeah, I will look
find it.
for mine,
I'm
but
just gonna keep searching.
Let me showcase my 3DS. I have a beautiful 3DS with a Kingdom Hearts plate.
Kingdom Hearts.
I get with the Kingdom Hearts 3D. It's beautiful. It's in a sky blue, I think it was called.
There's our aqua blue. Very good. This is fun. I feel like the last time we had a guest on too, because we had the last developer was also had their DS on because he was developing a DS game. So this is a thing now. DSs must come on. Thanks, Eric. What about you, Say? What's your console of choice?
As I said before, I had very little consoles in my life.
Yeah.
I had a physical GBA. I can say that.
waiting for
I probably the reason why I like GBA the most is pure nostalgia. Like I remember fondly these games, and I think they're really good. But I have to think in some way like, yeah, it's probably nostalgia. Like it was my childhood basically. But my first console was the Wii U actually. just and I don't regret nothing. It's a great console. I love it. I bought it just because I wanted to play Smash Bros. Like that was the only reason. Everything else, it was like something on top. But
And
yeah,
you couldn't
Smash
have just bought like a
Bros. On Wii U,
3DS and had a library with it as well.
See, I bought a 3DS for Smash Brothers actually because I knew I didn't want a Wii U, and I was like, I want to play the new Smash Brothers though. So I bought the 3DS.
Is it even allowed to say? But I remember when the Smash Bros was out, we played with my friends in uni a lot on a computer, and I remember just going in because emulators, and I remember just going out of classes, going to play open whatever computer because all of us had it downloaded and play Smash Bros for hours.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was like I don't know. I had like I was like 12, and with my friends played Smash Bros 64, but in my computer, of course. And 4 people in a keyboard is like really messy, especially when they're all mashing buttons and screaming and pushing each other.
We use a gamepad. We all had different gamepads. I remember.
No. We didn't have technology. We didn't know about technology at the time.
You didn't have Aaron was living the dream. Which no one listening to this can see, but he found the Kid Icarus stand.
To be honest, this stand, the Kid Icarus stand, to describe it to the audience, it's one of the best things ever. To be honest, I use it for my cell phone. I use it for my Switch. I use it for the 3DS, of course. I use it for my computer now again.
Oh my God.
Damn, that thing is tank.
Does it say something about Kid Icarus?
No, it doesn't say
it just
the Kid Icarus. It just came with the Kid Icarus.
It's just black. It's just black.
Yep.
Listen, hot
Actually,
take.
no, it was with the Kid Icarus.
hot take. People were little bitches about Kid Icarus. It's a great game. You didn't understand to enjoy it. I don't care.
I definitely tried to play the competitive side of Kid Icarus. Surprising. I really don't recommend it because my arms hurt like a lot.
Oh yeah, I don't recommend it either.
Yeah, but I remember the competitive side.
Little bitches.
Yeah.
I like the main story. I didn't get too far because
I've just never played it.
I
So.
got
dare you.
distracted.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing.
And it was a fun game.
Oh my god.
It's so
Okay.
good written.
Wait, did we get through everything? Did we get through favorite consoles? Because you mentioned Wii. Oh yeah, you said
We
Wii U.
did.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Wii U,
yes.
Wii U, by far.
City.
I love the Switch. I love the Switch. I got a handheld Switch.
Ooh, the Switch
The
Lite.
light version.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
but
swear by
my
that
mistake
thing.
was buying last year, which I didn't play basically anything. So I had it like just getting older. Like, I haven't touched it like
I love
almost
the
anything.
person that decided to buy the Wii U for Smash doesn't have a Switch.
Oh, he does have a
Yeah.
Switch, right? But a Switch Lite.
Listen. Yeah, but
Yeah, but
a mini version.
he doesn't have.
And I don't have
he
the
doesn't
Smash. I don't have
He
the
doesn't,
Smash.
he doesn't have
I
Smash.
retired. I retired.
Oh,
I play a
no.
lot of Smash. I went to tourneys and I think I'm a little burnout now.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Oh, that happens.
But yeah,
right?
the Wii U is like in my heart.
Nice.
I love the Wii U.
In
It's a
someone-
great console.
Hey,
Wii U Unite.
some people swear by it, you know? I'm good, but some people swear by it. Although I have
I'm not
considered,
the people.
yeah. Though to be honest with you, I have considered like if I ever see one for cheap, just because it has the HDMI, I just kind of want to like hack one and put
Yeah.
like virtual console games on it.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
It's a great homebrew console. I really want that because of that.
yeah, you
It's
know,
Yeah, I heard that.
So,
because the Wii was an excellent homebrew, homebrew
Yeah.
console. But you know, I don't want to get a thing from HDTV. Anyway, it's a whole other thing. It's a whole other conversation. But the last question I have in our little interview segment. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess you kind of answered this, but like we like to ask if you have like a memory that you can remember of like kind of the first thing that got you like into gaming, where you're like, oh yeah, I like this. I would like to do more. Because I know you've mentioned Game Boy Advance and whatnot, but was there like a game where you're just like, this is it?
that's a deep question, isn't it?
Yeah, really.
But I do have one, and all the people that know me already know what my answer is going to be. And those are the Hamtaro games in the GBA. Those are my favorite games. I replay it every year as an uncanny thing, to be honest. And I just love them. I have it in my heart, to be honest. And I know if this is a plugin. I'm sorry if I'm making a plugin in the middle of thing. I do live streams in Twitch, and my whole layout is just Hamtaro things. So you can see how a fanboy I am about
Man,
it.
plug your Twitch
There
if
are-
you
there are,
want.
like-
We'll
Really
link it.
There are like 5
Is it-
people in our community who are gonna fucking
Yeah.
love hearing that. You don't even.
Yeah.
Because we have a thing
Yeah.
on our Game of the Month right now. There has been a campaign for the past like 6 months to get Hamtaro as the Game of the Month. So like, you're in good company.
And they
Yeah,
have
I
them
mean,
heartbroken every month.
Fun.
And the funny thing is that I haven't watched the series ever in my life. I love the
haven't?
games.
You
I love the
haven't?
games. I don't know about the series. I just like the games.
The series is really cute. I actually watched it when I was younger. It was one of the few anime that like came to Canada and like in a translation. I remember watching that as a kid. I didn't know it was Japanese, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching it like every morning before going to school. Like I was like a secret ritual to start the day. Like the day wasn't like really rolling without Hamtaro. I never played the games, but the anime was cute as hell.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. What about you? What's your what got you into gaming?
I think it was probably the Sonic games, like the really old Sonic games. When I was a kid, a friend of my brother had a diskette, like a floppy disk. That's the word. Literally a floppy disk with a lot of Sega Genesis games, like the entire collection, basically.
Oh.
So me and my brother just put that in a computer and play basically all games. I remember like an Asterix and Obelix game. It was amazing.
Nice.
I loved it so much. But yeah, Sonic I played a lot, especially Sonic 2, because I could play with my brother. I was Tails, obviously. That and the Pokemon games, of course. I had like another floppy disk with Pokemon, the first one, and I couldn't save. So I had to basically complete the game in one day before turning off my computer, or the entire save file will be deleted. So
you're like the
that was
original
basically years
speedrunner.
of playing over and over and over and over and over. I loved it.
Christ.
Wow, that's awesome. So like that was the first Pokemon then, huh?
Yeah, the first Pokemon.
Damn. Yeah, no, I feel you. Wait, can I ask, have you played the Golden Sun games? Because you talk about GBA RPGs.
Yeah.
Yes. I love the Golden Sun games.
Yes.
I don't know if I actually finished it, but it was a really good game. I remember.
You ask me any game of GBA, I probably played it.
Nice.
Yeah, to be honest, my second favorite game is the Mario Tennis from GBA.
So
and
good.
Good.
I play it a lot. So literally, my whole game is like GBA games that no one plays.
Camelot?
The people that play really love them.
Honestly, like Camelot was like the king of the GBA.
Yeah.
Like just the best.
Alpha Dream also.
Yeah.
Also. They did the Mario and Luigi, make the Hamtaro games. I actually, when I knew that they go bankrupt, I think last year, just broke my heart. They were literally one of my inspiration to be a game developer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I played that one that finally got translated there, Tomato Adventure, and yeah, they every game they have is a banger. They're just great.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. Well, why don't we? I think we have time to talk about what we're playing then. Give you guys maybe like a split-second break from. Yeah,
of course.
Going hard. But maybe I guess we'll start maybe if you don't mind, because you said you aren't playing a whole lot, so maybe this will be a quick one. But what are you guys playing right now? Aaron, what are you playing?
Let me bring my script and we are playing with Vicente on stream. We're playing Call of the Sea.
Oh, nice.
So it's a little bit of both playing it. I love that game, and I hate it at the same time. I love the idea of the game. I love Verne's books. I don't know how you say it in English, to be honest. Julio Verne.
Jules Verne.
Jules Verne. Jules Verne's books. I love them, and Call of the Sea has all the inspiration from there, and you can feel it. You can feel it also in the worst parts, to be honest. The protagonist doesn't shut up ever. The controls are clunky to bring more of the to be more part of the game, but and the game sometimes lags a little bit, and I don't know if my computer or if the game. So yeah, but I really like it. The other side, the artistic side is beautiful. The game is beautiful. The music side is very ambiental, ambient music, and I really like that. But yeah, and the writing is actually good at parts. At parts, when it shines very bright, and you like it. So I'm having that game.
Nice. Yeah, I beat that one last year when it came out. It's a really, like you said, it's a game with high highs and some like middling lows, like not super low, but just like, okay moments. But yeah. Nice.
I am also playing Eastward.
Oh, Eastward.
It's an RPG that comes from developers in China, I think it is.
Yeah.
Very pixel art, very beautiful. which is very pretty. I'm just in the prologue, so I can't say much about the game. A part of I love it, every part of it, and I'm kind of disappointed that I can't have more time to play it. The other games are I'm trying to play Pio Fiore still. The Paula recommended me.
I was going to say 3 guesses who put you onto that one.
Yeah. That I'm trying to keep playing. I love the game. I haven't. It's my first otome, to be honest, and I actually love. I enjoy a lot of visual novels and all of that. So I'm actually enjoying it a lot. I love the music. I love jazz music in games. You could say that Persona made it, and and what else? I'm also playing the Ace Attorney Chronicles. That I know. I know that Alex, you're playing it, but yeah. I'm still in. I'm still in the 3rd chapter because I'm heartbroken from the 2nd chapter, without making spoilers.
Oh no, I hear you.
Yeah. So I'm still in shock and having PTSD. I love Ace Attorney games. I really do. I grew up on them. I played a lot of them. I recommended them to Paula. I think. So playing a new Ace Attorney for me was going back in childhood, where I played the original games in my cell phone, not my DS, because I didn't have them for the DS. So it was weird and enjoying a lot. You can see that the game hits all the spots of the Ace Attorney games. In comparison to Investigations, there is definitely another thing. It feels more of a mainline game, and going further with the whole formula they have. But they also have the problems with the new games, that it's very handholdy at the beginning and very, very handholdy. And I don't like handholdy games. I think that's about it I'm playing, if I remember correctly. That's all I'm playing at the moment.
Yeah, no, I hear you with the handholdiness. Like it is quite a bit in that first part, and I feel like they all do that. They have that intro, and it's like I get it because there's new players, but I'm also like, I've been playing these games. I've played like 10 of these. Like,
especially some parts that you can feel that the game is Japanese, because literally they're starting to teach you how English works, and you're like, I know how English works, I think. So I know I love the Ace Attorney Chronicles because I have learned a lot about Japanese culture, even though it's a English trying to make it like old English thing. But it's super interesting, especially the age, because we live in the America side of things. We don't have that kind of culture. We don't know how the British try to make connections with Japan and all of that, because we didn't live that. We were having our own issues.
Yeah. It is neat. It's an interesting time frame, right? Like where they set it like this. It is like a historically rich, but like not deeply explored area of like this interrelationships. And
the Sherlock Holmes is a thing that exists, and I really like this interpretation of. I really like this interpretation of Sherlock Holmes. To be honest, it's one of my favorites.
Do you mean Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, I mean Sherlock Holmes. Yes.
So stupid.
Also, it's so funny because I'm playing the dubbed version of the game. I mean the other thing. I'm playing the subbed version of the game, so it's in Japanese. And it's so funny because the narrator says Sherlock Holmes, and the subtitles says Sherlock Holmes, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna change it in my mind then.
Love that.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Nice. Anything else, or that's That's it.
No, I think that's about it. Other than that, it's work.
That's
Playing
fair.
Multiverse, basically.
Play-
All
play-
day.
Is that what you're playing?
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time, just making sure everything works. My God. So what about you, Vijay? You're playing Call of the Sea. What lies in the multiverse?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I watch Call of the Sea.
Ah,
I'm just
okay.
like I make company to Aaron while he plays, and he screams while he doesn't know how to solve a puzzle, and we were stuck like for hours. And I think I didn't touch a game guide in years, like literally years. But we were so stuck in some puzzles.
So
Like,
stuck.
I-
We literally was like 2 hours.
it was
in a
like-
puzzle.
let me check my brain, like my mental guide. And it was amazing. Like I didn't know
Wait,
like, it was impossible. Like
what
it was
puzzle
really-
was it? Because I think I might know what puzzle
Um,
you're talking about.
we had two problems.
We have two
One
puzzles. Yeah.
one that had a lot of ice in the
Yeah.
walls,
Oh my
and we didn't know that
The
one
eyes,
can
yeah.
interact with the ice.
We didn't
Um,
realize it wasn't interactable. So we were running around the ice like,
Running around for hours.
I know those goddamn eyes drove me crazy. I lost my mind at those eyes.
"Puzzle,
It was
they
incredible.
whisper you things. So it was more crazy.
Alex
Yeah,
is having
yeah.
some serious war flashbacks there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron was still running around, and I read the guy, and it was like, Aaron, you don't want to hear this.
It's especially annoying when
it's
it's a
terrible.
simple solution, right? You're like,
It
no.
was literally in front of us, literally.
That's a problem with some of the puzzle games, though, right?
Yeah.
Like you start thinking abstractly, and then it's like, no, press button, and you're like, no, but it must be something else. Like, no, press button. Like I remember thinking, I was like, okay, wait, there's those telescopes, and there's like this ink stains. And I was
Yeah.
like, maybe it has something to do with that. I was like, no, man, it's press the
Exactly.
eye.
One of the hints was
Oh
like,
my God.
go explore this other thing that has nothing to do with the puzzle.
Yeah, that was the problem. The hint told you to go do something else,
Yeah.
and so I got all confused. Oh
And
god.
it was very far away.
Oh. Sorry. Okay, I'm understanding your pain with this one. Oh god. Okay, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
It was really fun. It was really fun, to be honest.
Yeah, it was really funny.
After some hours of breathing, really hard.
After some hours of pain, you had a good time. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, why don't, oh, sorry.
Yeah, as I said before, I'm playing a lot of Legends of Runeterra, which is this card game based on League of Legends, like the narrative of League of Legends. I'm not too fan of League of Legends at all, like especially because of its community. Like, I played a lot of time, like I don't know, like 5 years straight during school. But the community was so toxic that I want to kill myself. So I just left it, and then the pandemic came, and me and my friends were like, all right, we have nothing to play, so let's go back to this. And it's fun, but I don't like it. I don't think it's like a really good game, but it's like, I don't know, taking drugs. You know it's bad for you, but you can stop. It's amazing.
Actually,
It's bad when you compare it to drugs.
you just like made me think that's like my
Wow.
relationship
No.
with Tetris 99, where I'm just like, I shouldn't be playing
Oh,
this,
yeah.
but I love it.
That's funny.
Like, this is a dumb
Um,
game, and why am I playing? Let's go.
But yeah, I like the lore. I think the world they made, and the characters, and the story, and I don't know, the creative part of the game is amazing. So Legends of Runeterra like really exploits that part. Like it's just really beautiful art, and characters interacting with each other, and that mixed with a card game, which I like a lot. So that's basically my game now. But I don't know. When I bought the Switch, I played Animal Crossing a lot. Like my day was I woke up and the first thing I do is checking Animal Crossing. Like I was so fucking addicted. Like it was a problem. I think it was a really big problem. Fortunately, I got bored, so that was a lot of time.
Yeah, careful because that new
Also,
expansion's
I
out,
played
right?
yeah. I don't want to touch it. Like I know I would be so invested in it, and I feel so bad for my my neighbors. Like I can't with the guilt. Like they will see me and they'll say something like, "I haven't seen you in 8 months," and I know I'm sorry. I know. I'm the worst person of all. Like, I
And then
feel
they come
terrible.
running and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, you haven't talked to me in 8 months. I really thought I did something bad. What can I do for you? I don't want you to hate me.
Oh
It feels
god.
horrible.
That's some Black Mirror shit when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
Yes.
And I play Jenny LeClue. That was like the
Oh.
small game I played during the years. That was really fun, actually. I don't know if any of you have played, but
I
the
haven't.
ending is something else, like not in a good way. So I have mixed feelings.
Because I have that
But it's
one.
a really good, cool game. Yeah. I want to spoil it so much, but I don't.
Someday we'll do a spoiler talk on Jenny LeClue.
Yeah. Please. It's a short game.
Yeah.
So
I bought it for like
I recommend
$1.
it. It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try it out.
I recommend it till I don't.
Till you don't. Yeah. Nice.
I
like
want you
those-
to hate it with me.
Good.
It's like the Alex Freakabans when he says, okay, play it, but until
Don't
this
finish
part.
it, yeah.
Don't finish it.
I have a lot of those games where I'm just like, there's no point finishing the game. Just have fun and then stop.
Stop. You know
Enjoy
the
the
ending
journey.
that you're like, don't finish the game. Leave it as it.
Let it be a good memory. Nice.
Yeah, let it be a good-
Well, we'll blast through a little bit what we're playing. We'll try to blast through as much as we can to give you guys a split second break before we jump into the full on interview. Paula, why don't you chat? Because I also want to break.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of games. You know, this semester is picking up when I can't decide what to play next, and I just end up playing everything. So I've been playing Polybridge. On the last area of the game. I think I have like 3 stages left to finish it.
Mhm.
There were like a couple of bullshit levels, but overall it has been a lot of fun. Animal Crossing New Horizons has been a lot of fun, and I actually like couldn't stop playing it like for a couple of days. Because I was just having so much fun like decorating the houses for my villagers on like the expansion pass thingy. Like, what's the name of it? Happy Home,
Home
Paradise?
Designer?
Happy Home
Oh.
Paradise, yeah.
Oh,
I was
right, not
designing-
designer. That was the other
Yeah.
game.
No, this is
That was the
3DS.
3DS game that they cannibalized
Yeah.
all the
Yep.
content from.
So yeah, I was doing that until Cupid Parasite came out and pretty much ate all of my time. I already finished the first route. And I think with Cupid Parasite, I'm gonna go in a little tangent. I don't know if I already said it, but this Otome game is actually like a rom-com.
Oh.
So don't try to make sense of the story because it doesn't make sense, but it is a lot of
Unlike
fun.
most
and
Otome games, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just kidding.
this is like in a silly way.
I'm just teasing, but yeah, sorry, keep going about.
So like the gist of it is that the main character Cupid was pretty much like doing her thing, and suddenly like her her arrows like didn't kind of like work like they used to, and like couples were like breaking up, and there were like I don't know, a decline on marriage or something like that, and the other gods were mad, and shit happens. She pretty much got mad with her dad and ended up like being very close friends with this other goddess, Minerva, that is like the weird goddess that everyone is telling you not to be friends with.
Nice.
Because she really likes the world of the humans, like, and she pretty much like smuggles things from the human world into Celestia just for fancies, and she has like her own like gate that is based off of the Sherlock Holmes apartment building.
Oh, Baker Street.
There's a lot of nods and it is ridiculous, but and after like learning from humans with Auntie Minerva, Cupid was like, hey, humans have this thing called marriage advisors, and they're kind of doing the thing I was supposed to be doing, but better. And she had a fight with Mars, that is like her father. And Mars was like, hey, humans are not better. Go do your thing. No, humans are doing things well, so I'm gonna do things my own way. I'm gonna become a marriage advisor. I'm gonna like match couples that way. And then you're gonna see the human way is the best way.
Cupid the marriage counselor. This is great.
I do love that as a concept.
Yeah.
And we have sort of briefly spoken about it in the little group chat we've got going. We said potentially if, and it's a big if, Otome 22 happens, it's maybe a better candidate than the one we picked last year. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this game is stupid, but in the best way possible.
Okay.
Because Cupid, now named Lynette, like on the human realm, she works for Cupid Corporation as a private advisor, and she's like one of the top private advisors. And she really wants to like keep climbing up the company because that way she can prove her father wrong. And then the president of the company is like, hey, we have an urgent meeting. It's a secret meeting. Okay, you're here. I need you to I've heard you want a promotion. I'm gonna give you a promotion if you can marry like these 5 people that we keep referring to as the Parasitic 5 because they're fucking trouble and we can't really keep them married. So you're a last chance. So go do that. So she kind of like becomes like the bride advisor for these 5 walking disasters. Like you have the guy who hasn't forgotten like his first love. You have an actor who isn't actually like doesn't actually want to marry, but he wants to like learn about love because he has like a romance thing coming up and he has to act and he has no idea. Yeah. And you have a character that is just he just likes to I want to say have an adventure with a girl that is already in love. So he pretty much is the thieving process because he steals others' girlfriends. You have a fashion designer that doesn't talk with anyone who he considers to be unattractive or that dresses in an appealing way. And then you have the guy that is actually the president, but he's supposed to be married, but he really isn't. And he's like, oh no, if people know I'm not married, it's gonna damage the company. So he sends a stand-in to every single event to tag instead of him and try to find him a match, which is a total disaster, as you might think. So,
and
like,
we take a step back. Cupid's working for Cupid Corporation.
Yep.
Oh my Christ! Okay,
it is beautiful, though. Though this thing pretty much like the flow of the common route is pretty much like Keep or Lynette tries every single way possible to match up these guys. And shit happens. They end up doing like they were supposed to be doing like a TV series that was like when you have like a group of guys and girls that is like, okay, something is supposed to happen, and Lynette was supposed to be like the private advisor making like the couples, but the girls all drop out at the last second. So it became the program became the Parasite House. And Lynette is supposed to like fix their attitudes and try to make them husband materials by the end of it. So after that season, Parasite House, the game splits into the 5 routes. 6, because there's a 6th route. That's the gist of the game, and it is a disaster in the best way possible. That's all I can say.
Sounds like it hurts me.
Oh, he's roasting
hurts,
Aaron. Sounds like Kingdom Hearts. Yep.
Yeah, making a disaster in the best way possible.
Yeah,
pretty much. So that's what could be Parasite. Ghost Trick. Actually, I don't think I've been playing Ghost Trick since the last time. Age of Empires. I don't know what was wrong with my computer or whatever, but we actually finally were able to finish like one full game without the game crashing. So that's a blast. Nothing really new to say. I only been playing like with the Holy Roman Empire because I like how they are like more economy driven, and I really like to bone rush the game and just like throw a lot of soldiers to the enemy and see what happens. And then we have this is a new one. I really wanted to play Fire Emblem, so I'm playing Fire Emblem New Mystery of the Emblem Heroes of Light and Shadow for the DS. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, that is absolutely a big title.
Really?
Yep. And the thing is, this game only came out in Japanese, so I'm playing like a fan translation of it. And this is a remake of Book 2 of Mystery of the Emblem for the SNES. Mystery of the Emblem is a kind of like a 2-part game. The first book is a remake of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, and the second book is this game, Heroes of Light and Shadow. So that's the reason behind the long name of the thing. So the story picks right up after the first game, and there's like stuff like going on, and there's like a lot of stuff from this game that is seen again on Fire Emblem Awakening, like the character customization, support conversations. You actually get to have like your avatar character, and you get to pick between male and female, and depending of male and female, there were like 5 classes for each, and you get to make the character look however you want, which was kind of surprising. And then you pretty much like get your character. Your character gets put like in a they want to become like a soldier for and serve as pretty much serve Prince Marth from the first game. And then stuff happens. You're kind of like promoted in a way. There's an assassination attempt, and then like a lot of stuff happens, and war breaks out everywhere, and there's a fire disaster. And I think I'm like around chapter 5 on the game, and overall the mechanics feel pretty much how they were in Shadow Dragon, the DS remake. So not much difference there, I think. Oh, they also have that. I remember how I said that if you weren't careful in Shadow Dragon, you could soft block your game.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could miss a very important item in the game. It is back here in oh my god,
gotta love it.
Yeah, it is back here with all the fireworks because you have to collect these charts of things. I think there were orbs or something like that. And I've seen them like on 3 chapters already. I have to have a guide open like just to make sure I'm not missing any, because if you miss one, you have to restart that chapter. Otherwise, you're screwed. Other than that, so far so good. That's like my only complaint about the game.
Should we move
Just
on?
a minor complaint.
Minor, yeah. Just a minor complaint when the game stops working. But Rick, why don't you tell us what are you playing?
Sure thing. So I'll skip over anything that's not really moved much. So I'm still playing Distrust as it stands. Myself, Cock, and Abatage are going to play some more tomorrow. And I think we've sort of all agreed we're going to bang our heads against this until we finally finish a run. So
Nice.
expect to be hearing this well into the new year. Still playing Rocket League. Still loving that. Still playing Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you now, Paula. I am on the puzzle with the medicine and the water and the suits of armor. No, she's shaking her head, so yeah, I'm definitely ahead. I mean, I've played this before, so a lot of it's from memory.
Oh, it was
like
muted.
that puzzle, I remembered basically exactly how to do it, which was nice. And it's still fun because you're still following the story and everything else. Still not really playing Oracle of Seasons, but it's still bouncing around. And then in terms of the games I've actually really been playing, I've played some more Guardians of the Galaxy. It absolutely still stands up in terms of like the praise that I gave it last week. It really does feel like you're playing like a better version of the film. The banter's great. I love the character design, except for Quill, but it's overall just really, really solid, and it actually delivers on the promise of one of these licensed Marvel games, which is good. And I think it probably stands just below Spider-Man in terms of overall quality, but I think in terms of building an actual living sort of world, I think it actually far exceeds it in terms of the bond that it gives you with the characters within it. So yeah, really,
so
really
interesting
enjoying
that it came as a good game, to be honest. The Guardian of the Galaxy. I think I heard one of you guys in previous podcast that they were like betting if the Guardian of the Galaxy was going to be a good game because they played the Avengers one.
Avengers.
And I was when I see the review, I was like, oh, I need to watch the podcast.
Because I was so sure it's what's gonna flop because like the trailers didn't look too good. Like there was a bit of gameplay in my movie on the trailers. I don't know if that's the case for the actual game.
It didn't look good, to be honest. It looked like an Avengers sequel, and it had like all the problems that the Avengers one looked.
But see, weirdly enough, playing Avengers actually made me feel more confident about Guardians because Avengers at its core has like
it was a good game.
But everything around it is shit.
They're very different. So like Guardians feels more like an RTS in a lot of ways, in the sense that although you're controlling Quill, the vast majority of the damage you're dealing is by directing the other Guardians to attack certain enemies in certain ways. And I actually really like it from that.
They don't feel different, the characters.
So you don't really control them. Each one of them is assigned to one of the 4 face buttons. So you hold L1 on PS4, and then you press one of the face buttons to select the character, and then another face button to select the attack you want them to do. And then Quill's special moves are on left stick, which is kind of weird. They clearly ran out of buttons at some point along the way. But it actually feels quite different from, I think, any other action game I've played in that sense of directing the play. It almost feels like maybe what they were going for with that the game that came out a while back and completely flopped, the one that was made by the ex-Halo devs, where it was like a first-person thing, but it's also an RTS. If you remember what game I'm talking about, tell us in the comments down below.
What
while
are you
you're there,
talking about?
smash that like
Was it
button.
Anthem?
I have no idea.
No, Anthem's EA.
No,
you're right.
it was that kind of vibe aesthetically. It's unimportant. Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy is really, really good. But I waited for reviews, and it reviewed really well, and I jumped in, and I'm very glad that it turned out well. I hope that lots of other people did the same, because I'd hate for it to just like flop straight on his face.
Yeah.
I think it's
Um,
been selling well from what I can see.
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
like Avengers.
yeah. And
I
before
think it had a lot of hype because it was Square Enix first like thing with Disney Studios and Marvel Studios and all that, and it was like, yeah, this game is going to be awesome, and it was such a game.
it sure was a game, and heartbreakingly, when you open the Guardians of the Galaxy box, the first thing you see is a flyer begging you to play the Avengers game as well. Which, I mean, they tried. Top marks for effort. One thing before I move on, the accessibility options for this game are top notch. You have like basic difficulty options, but you also have a whole suite of modifiers that you can put on and off. You can nudge your damage, enemy HP up or down. You can also, and I've turned this on, full disclosure, make it so you auto win QTEs, so you don't get a pop up. You just enjoy the story. So,
Nice.
They've
Awesome.
really gone the extra mile, and they're not tucked away. They're front and center. Like, they give you those options before you even get to the title screen. It makes you sort of roll through them. So, A star for effort for that, and hopefully more bigger games follow suit, because I think that's a really cool thing that's starting to become sort of standardized with games like this, and it makes it so that more people can enjoy them, and that's only a good thing as far as I'm concerned. So props for that. To a game that is a lot less accessible, but I am still having a lot of fun with, the original Witcher. It's showing its age. I'm not much further. I'm in like chapter 1 of the story now. But it is starting to sort of flesh itself out in terms of the combat, in terms of leveling up, in terms of skill points in the actual RPG side of things, because the prologue chapter is very much sort of introducing to you the characters and the concepts and the general flow of combat and game. Does a really good job of that, actually. It's quite a smart tutorial, quite well paced, does a good job of onboarding, both in terms of story and mechanics. I'm quite glad I didn't sort of skip to The Witcher 3 like my friends have been begging me, because I'm having a good time with this one so far. And then 2 new games as of this week. The first is a hand-drawn adventure game called The Blind Prophet. It's drawn in like a comic book style, has sort of vibes of the intro cinematics from Beyond a Steel Sky, or Beneath a Steel Sky, the original rather. And that's high praise as far as I'm concerned, because Dave Gibbons' work on that is exceptional. And this is both exceptionally beautiful and so far a pretty good adventure game. There's a lot of mystery, a lot of intrigue. I'm really, really curious to see where it goes. The second game is a weird little platformer on the Vita called Metrico. So it's like a 2D side-scroller thing. The conceit is you're in like a load of random bar charts and graphs, and different elements of the environment around you will move corresponding to actions that you take. So there are some things that will nudge up every time you jump, some that will like move every time you move your character in a direction. It's hard to describe, but it is kind of interesting so far. Although I was playing it on the train the other day, and I've stopped at a point where it introduces a back touch mechanic, which is kind of a no-no on Vita, which is where I'm playing it. And I'm liking it. Depending on how much they use that mechanic, I'm maybe not liking it enough to persevere, but we shall see. It's the Metroidvania problem. Like, great 2D platformers are dime a fucking dozen. So it doesn't take much to be like, right, you don't deserve my time anymore. And
Like,
that's a shame, but that's the reality. And you know, that is also the conclusion of what I've been playing. Alex.
Yeah, I'll barrel through here. As you mentioned, I've been playing Tetris 99 because I needed something that I could turn my brain off while I'm watching something, and I'm just like, or I'm in like virtual staff meetings, and I'm just like, oh my god, kill me, Tetris 99, which is nice. And then I'm also doing what else? Rhythm Heaven on the DS. This game is equal parts awesome and then the most infuriating game on the planet. Like I absolutely
love that game.
Oh, I love it so much. It's just also there are like things that clearly what really messes with my brain is when it asks you to do something on the beat and then to do the off beat. I can't do it.
I love it.
Can't do it to save my life. I just cannot do it. Like it's like bump, 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 and then it's like, okay, do the offbeat now, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is anymore. Like my brain just stops. It just doesn't work.
Love a good offbeat.
doesn't. Well, I like a good offbeat, but when you're making me go on beat and off beat right at like the same time, I can't do it. I just can't do it. You got to pick one, stick in a lane, and then I'm good. It's all this old piano freaking training when I was young, and they play that stupid metronome, and they're like, play on beat. So I'm like, it's PTSD. They're like, stay on the beat. But anyway, I love that game. I also like where if you're really messing up, you go to the cafe and they're like, you're having a hard time, man. You want to skip it? And they're like, yes, please. And he goes, no problem, dude. It just like skips it for you, and you're like,
I got you.
right? Like it's just, I'm like, that's a nice game design thing, you know. What else am I playing? I'm playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I'm on the 8th case now, so I'm getting close to the end here, and oh boy, does it ramp up in these in the second game. That second game is like, it's just very good. It's actually I would call it like a little more traditional Ace Attorney in terms of the structure of the cases, which I actually very much loved. I liked the experiments that they're doing in the first game, but I also like that they do experiments and then they also, you know, but like not in terms of the trials. The trials are still the same, like with the jury system, which I really like the jury system. It's a cool idea. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Unity, which might sound random, but I gotta tell you, 6 or 7 years since its release, game's pretty good now.
Like, you'd fucking hope they'd have patched it by then.
Well, see, on the Series X, it has FPS boosts, auto HDR, and like obviously quick resume and stuff. And with the FPS boost, it looks really good. Like, and it plays really well. And I've only encountered, the only bugs that I've encountered when playing the game are more just like NPC pathing bugs. Like that's really all I've seen. Like I'll turn around and for a split second a woman's in a tree and then she's not, and I'm like, oh, what? But like that, like I think I can count on one hand the amount of bugs that I've actually seen. So that's got to be a marked improvement from what that game was like originally, because it was just a nightmare. And then there's little things, but the little things are more like costume stuff sometimes. But like, I have to say, so I wanted to play this. Like I purchased recently because they were on like a stupid discount. Like I think I got like this Origins and Syndicate for like maybe like $20 total for all of them. You know what I mean? Like it was like really cheap. So I was just like, okie dokie. You know what I mean? Like I might as well, because those are the 3 that I stopped playing, because I kind of tapped out of Assassin's Creed after Black Flag. I was like, done. Because I just didn't think the new ones were as interesting, and I was like, no thanks. And then I came back for Odyssey, but I was like, maybe I'll go back and try it. And I gotta say, you know, because I've heard people like kind of complain about Odyssey, and I really enjoyed Odyssey, but going back to play Unity, I'm like, okay, I do get what you mean. Like this Assassin's Creed gameplay is actually pretty fun. Like it's a little jank at times, but like the assassinations and like going up and doing those like single hit kills are really enjoyable, and like you don't do that in Odyssey. And like Unity's parkour is very fun. Like you have to, it doesn't teach you it very well, but like if you look up, there's some really good videos on it, but like once you have a basic understanding of how it works, you can just pull off some really awesome fluid moves, and like it's very fun. So yeah, you might hear my dog in a second whining at the door. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like really enjoying it. I'm almost done, actually. I'm like near the end of it. And yeah, it's a weird game. I didn't think I'd see myself playing anytime soon. Like I was like, I guess I'll go back to Assassin's Creed. But playing it made me realize, I'm like, oh shit, okay. These games are really good. It's just the only problem is that they're just filled with bullshit. Like, man, you can feel the Ubisoft, like, you guys got to make sure that you can fucking do everything in this game. Because, dude, when you unlock the viewpoints on this map and you open the map and you can scroll through like 6 tabs for points of interest, when you click all, it's a fucking nightmare. Like, it is just icons everywhere. Like, you cannot see the map anymore. It's just icons. Like, that's how much shit is in this game. Like, I was like, huh, but really, it doesn't matter. You can just, like, I've played none of the side content because the side content doesn't matter. You can just play the campaign and it's totally fun. So, like, weirdly enough, I would really recommend it these days if you get it on, like, a sale for, like, $10 or something. Like, play it and just play the campaign because it's a really fun, tight campaign. Is the campaign stupid? Yeah, of course it is. But that's because it's Assassin's Creed. But, like, It's fun. I'm also playing it in French, which is a big difference because I speak French, so woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a random thing.
No, yeah, I speak
I
French.
don't
Although,
mean to brag.
yeah, but
Yeah.
well, the reason is like because okay, the English. I started it in English for like 5 seconds, and then they started talking, and they're talking in a fucking English accent, and I was like, "What? This is." What? This is France. I'm like, if you're gonna do the English voices, at least make them have a French accent or something. Like, why would they have all British accents? So anyway, I just immediately changed the language to French, and it's a much better experience. And the French voice actors are fantastic. So it was a good time. Anyway, that's Unity. Last one that I'm playing is Forza Horizon 5 because it came out on Game Pass. Fuck, this game's good. Like this game's really good. Yeah. Holy shit, it's a good game. Like, and the accessibility options in this game, wild. Like, and not even just accessibility for playing it. Like in player creation, you can like your character can have like any number of prosthetics as well. And I'm like, that's just a really cool addition. You know? I'm like, that's just nice. Like, because in character creator, you never really get the chance to do that. And I'm like, it just, I don't know, the whole game feels like they're like, anyone wants to play this? Come on in, you know? Like, it just feels like a very welcoming game. And they have It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia references, which made me happy because you can choose what the game calls you. And they have like a big list of names, but they also have nicknames, and they have Nightman and Dayman. And I was like, oh, fucking right. Like, so you know I'm the Nightman, which if anyone watches It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, it's fine. Just look it up. Nightman. But anyway, the game's really fun. It has this cool blue line and the rewind function. Oh, why doesn't every game have a rewind function just built into it, especially racing games, right? I'm like, man, you hit something and it's just like, would you like to rewind? And you're like, I would like to rewind, sir, because I am quite bad at this racing game. But yeah, open world racing game. I don't know. It's such a perfect game to just jump into and like play for a little bit, and like the cars are great, and it's not like, you can tell if you're super good at racing games and you want it to be really technical, it can be that for you. But if you just want to have a good time, Forza's like, come on in, buddy. This is just a fun fucking race time. And wow, is it beautiful too? Because like obviously it's not like, look, they're doing Mexico, but you know,
Yeah.
it's not like obviously a 1-to-1. It's like inspired by Mexico. And I gotta say, like I'm playing on the Series X, and like holy crap, like as you're going through this game, it is just like one of the prettiest games I've ever played, and I'm just loving it. Aaron, have you been playing some of this?
Yes, I have been playing some Horizon 5. I really like it, the Horizon 4. So the whole saga of Horizon, that is like, just play. It's not a racing game. Just go ahead, play, and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's just enjoyable. It's when you have free time and just want to do nothing. To be honest, it's great. It makes me remember of the playing GTA and just hanging around doing nothing.
Yeah, that's totally, you're right on. It's kind of like that. I mean, I know the joke because like it's the name of their freaking company, but it's like, it is like a playground, right? Like you very much just like go have fun in it. And it's like, I think it's like the biggest one. Yeah, the map's huge, and it's just been like,
and it's beautiful. I just said it's so beautiful. The whole game is beautiful. The cars are beautiful. The environment is beautiful, and also the game is fun because it makes you do stupid things, and that's why I love Horizon.
Yeah,
it doesn't take itself seriously, you know, sometimes, and then some other times it does, and it just balances.
Yeah,
the two things very good.
I love it. All right, well, that's enough about playing. It's time for us to get into the full interview proper, because we want to talk about your game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, here it comes. So of course we've got them here because you've got a game coming out in a year-ish, next year, tentative, right?
Early next year.
Yeah, early next year. Good. What lies in the multiverse? So maybe first off, actually, maybe before we even jump at this, could you maybe describe a little bit like your roles on the game and developing this? Yeah.
Vicente and me, we are part of a company called Studio Voyager. Studio Voyager. This is our first game, and we are beginning in this industry. I am the game producer of what lies in the multiverse. And you, Vicente?
I'm the creative director for the game.
Okay.
And it's a small team, so we both do like a lot of stuff as is needed. But yeah, that's those are our main roles in the game.
You're like official titles. Nice.
Yeah.
So what got you into game dev then? Because this is like, your first game. So like, although I'm guessing this isn't the first game you've like tried to make kind of thing, right? Like usually, or is it? Is this the first thing you're like, this is it, we're gonna go for it?
Mostly, yeah. It's the first one. So yeah, I started with like I don't know, like 5 years ago. Just messing around with Game Maker and stuff, and then like the idea appeared, and I started working on it. And a year later, I met Aaron, and he fell in love with the game really quickly. So it was obviously like a really earlier version. It was very unpolished, and we hadn't had like really small amounts of progress. But yeah, then as Aaron produced it, the game started to feel like more like a real thing. So yeah, it just appeared.
It just kind of...
I don't know a better way to describe it. It's just during the course of learning to make games, Multiverse became its own thing, and it took many years to get to what it is now. Like many years.
We didn't have a team, so I am the producer, but I do the production side of things. So a lot of paperwork, a lot of the documentation, all of that. So all the development was to have been done by Vicente. the narrative, the script, the characters, the art, the music, everything was made by Vicente. The programming side of things also. So before I met him, and after that I just tried to help on the production side of things and downloading early build every 3 years.
Basically.
Yeah, because I guess. Oh god, yeah, all the documentation you need for game. It's do a project.
It's awful.
I love my job. I do. The first thing I said to Vicente, if we're going to do this, I want to be the producer. I love paperwork, so you're going to do paperwork.
Damn, man, you are a saint then. we like doing paperwork. Yeah.
I do love. I love.
But this day, I still don't understand it. Like, I think at this point, I'm not sure if I still know how to read. Like, I'm at this point. Like, they sent me a document, and it's like, okay, have it. Like, I'm not gonna even read it. Like, I don't know how to do this stuff. And Aaron is amazing. I don't know. It's like a polar opposite. It's another world for me. But I'm so thankful of not having to touch any of that stuff.
I love the idea of you just like hand waving it, to be like, send it to my producer.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't like it though.
Yeah, Aaron's sitting there like, fine, more coffee.
I love paperwork. I do. I love it.
But this is my
But at least you can
This
be
is
like,
what I
I am
always
the
wanted.
producer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, it's a big work. Like one underestimated like a lot of the time, but then you start to know how much work is involved during production. Like it's wow. Like
not only making the game, as I said before, we're making a studio, that is Studio Voyager, and And that is also a whole thing. Making a company, making all the paperwork that comes with that, legal information that comes with that.
Especially once you start, making some money.
Yeah, exactly. When it starts taking money and starts taking time and start taking all of that, it's hard. It's very hard. But it's a part of the game industry that you normally don't see, to be honest. Because you get in love with making games, because you're going to make your whole narrative and you can make your whole world and all of that. Or you're in love to playing games, you love this, enjoying this whole thing and all of that, and you forget we live in a world that money is involved, to be honest. And so it's good to it's good to divide roles, to be honest, as we did with Vicente.
This actually, so
yeah,
we're gonna probably jump all over the place with these questions, but like,
no worries.
You actually sort of make me wonder, because I am really curious. Like, speaking of sides you don't hear about much, but like, what was the process of finding your publisher? Like how did that even happen?
Okay, I don't want to go too much in detail.
Yeah, of course, yeah, whatever you can
information. But we work with another company. We work with another company that's called IguanaBee. That is one of the biggest companies in Chile about game development. They've been here since ever, to be honest. To say the least, they have a game in the beta. That is Monster Bug. That is one very good. I recommend you guys. I know that you guys could love the beta. And there was a whole process to. We were skipping a lot of steps, but we knew we knew the CEO of the company. We were friends, and we pitched the game to them to because we were talking about the whole thing about co-developing the game. That is an option that a lot of people don't know that exists. That you can go to a company and say, "Let's make the games together." No, let's not only selling the game, just let's do it together. And they like it. The only requirement was change the name, please, because the game is called Multiverse, and it was a hellstorm to find.
They're probably like
we met. Yeah. We met Daniel, which is like the headmaster, the CEO of IguanaBee. We met him in an award ceremony. He was one of the judges, and we were in the best student game category, and he was one of the judges, and so he approached us after we won that award. It was amazing. But then he approached us, and it was like, "Hey, I love your game. Like, you're doing incredibly well, but please change the name. Like, you can imagine how bad the name is." And we were so used to it. Like, it's called Multiverse. Like, I can't call it anything else. So we would slap some words to it.
No, that's a lie. We were finding a name for like 3 months.
Yeah. It was a very long process.
Yeah, it was a long process and a difficult process to find a good name for the game.
You thought picking between multiple words, multi-words.
Yeah, Multiverse.
Oh God. But I like the name you guys came up with, because it is very searchable now, right? Like, I mean, if you type in what lies in the multiverse, your game comes up, like, it's like...
That was the first requirement. Like, you type the game and you had to make sure
you had to find it.
Nothing else exists with the name. And there were a lot of good names I would have loved. But yeah, you type those in Google, and there is like, I don't know, an album.
Right,
or music, or a band, or another game, or a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Also, to put a little bit of context, Vicente talked about an award. Vicente and me, we are both students still in uni. we're uni students, and we we how you say it, we got selected for one of the awards that was best student game in Chile. That was made by the big like corporation of companies that is here. It's not a corporation. It's
like an organization or like
organization of video games here. It's called Video Game Chile, so it's easy to find.
Very straightforward.
Yeah, very straightforward. And we won. We didn't.
awesome.
Yeah.
And that was like the first like approach to like, yeah, okay, let's make the game. Like, let's do it. Like,
This is real.
Yeah, this is more real than we think, and we need to. We have to be that man. We have money on our hands, and if we don't do it, it's going to burn.
Yeah, might as well use it, get it done, right? Make it happen. Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. All right, nice. That's interesting. So any
yeah, but wait. The question was about the publisher.
Yeah.
IguanaBee is not the publisher. So we talked with Daniel, and we made an agreement between us and everything, all of that. All the legal information, all the how everything was going to work, and one of the agreements was that Daniel was going to find us a publisher, a good publisher. And that's how the game got presented in some expos, and we got in contact with Untold Tales, that is our publisher. That we love them also. They're a Polish company. They also starting since last year. And they're awesome. they specialize in narrative games, and we are having the best publisher to get, to be honest, because we have heard about nightmares with working publishers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they're the ones who did Golf Club Wasteland. They published that. Cool. Okay. I was just thinking about them. Yeah. They've got lots of fun little indie games there. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah,
It was like really neat when they approached to us. Like they were like, "Yeah, we loved your game, and we would like to give you money." And we were like, "Yeah, I like money, so go on."
This sounds great.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Also, it worked out.
If
Really like.
if you are listening, you are a game developer, and you hear this, know that we didn't choose the first person in these whole scenarios. We didn't choose IguanaBee as a first option. We didn't choose Untold Tales as a first option. Now there is more options. If you think that this is not good for the game or good for your company or good forever, listen to your instinct and analyze it.
Yeah.
It's good to take a calm approach to it. Like you can find better things. You can always find better things.
That's a good point. You need to like take a breath, because sometimes you can be so excited when someone says like, "Here, we want to do this," and then you like look at the fine print and you're like, "Wait, what are you going to do with our game?" It's like you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially in video games, because it's a creative industry, and as a creative industry, we are people that are excited about games and get on the hype trains and all of that. So now that when you're trying to make it as a business, take it as a business. If you're not going to take it as a business and you can want to take it as a hobby, that's very fine, and it's a very good option, to be honest. Take it as a hobby and just don't worry about it. But try to know what your approach is going to be. That's my side of recommendation.
One important note though is that we at that moment we had the advantage of living with our parents, so we could actually make sure that we could take our time to find a good publisher, because a lot of teams they are already living off making games, so finding a publisher is a lot less flexible, because they need to make some money in some way, and that's harsh. Like
Well, what
Yeah,
was
that's-
that?
Sometimes it can go really bad, but yeah, we have the opportunity to
Mhm.
just take with the calm, take our time, and be really nitpicky with with what we saw.
It reminds me of
So,
the
yeah.
there's that like creative concept where it's like there's three things: there's fast, cheap, and good, and you can get two,
Yeah.
but you can't get all three,
Yeah.
right? Like, they just don't
Yeah.
exist. So you decide what matters the most to you, and like like living at
Yeah.
home, like that's a great way to make it so that the money's not as important, right? You're like you could wait for a little bit. Nice, awesome. Well, why don't we talk a little bit about the game too? I'm curious what inspired it because like we played the demo, which we had a lot of fun with, which is kind of how this sort of came about. Because Paolo was like, "My friends have a thing," and we're like, "All right, let's do it."
I
And
hated it, so I invited you guys to hate it.
Yeah, plot twist. We're about to say you all the
Yeah,
ways
the-
that it was.
yeah, we're about to be like, so this game is.
Yeah.
you can go listen to our talks about it before our live reactions. Really enjoyed it, but because like when I was playing it, I really got that like DNA of the like I wrote down like the Back to the Future kind of Rick and Morty, but like that more specifically like that idea of like the wacky sort of character and the young sort of sidekick who's really kind of the protagonist. And I'm just curious like what kind of inspired like where did this game come from? Did it just appear one day?
The fun thing is that I had to think. I had to think about inspiration before. After all of that was already made. Like when I started, I remember I just played Pocket Mortis. I don't know if you know the game.
Yeah,
I'm aware of it.
It's a
Yeah.
fun game about Rick and Morty. Yeah, it was really fun. I was really in love with Rick. Yeah, but I remember that I was kind of disappointed in the way they tackled the different universes. They just felt like they were different skins for the same world. So I thought like, all right, maybe we can do something more interesting with that idea. So I started to experiment with stuff, and some really bad stuff came out of it. I'm not too proud of my first idea.
I am.
But
I
that
am.
happens.
I love them.
Yeah,
just-
with
Yeah,
it's very-
there was a lot of experimenting, basically. And you know the fact of Everett, like I didn't know what I wanted, like what characters I wanted in the game, but I remember I was in a math class. I wasn't paying attention, and I was so invested in creating this game. I was having so much fun. So I only think about it. I was drawing in my notebook, and then I thought, all right, so how will look like someone who wants to teach you about the multiverse? And that's Everett, basically. It's just like a welcome to the internet guy. It's just that it appeared. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Rick and I don't remember the professor in Back to the Future.
Doc
just-
Brown.
just-
Just Doc,
Doc.
yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
Doc? It's a Doc.
Thank you.
It's just Doc. It's Doc
Yeah,
Brown.
Doc.
Why do I
Doc.
think Doc Brown? It's
Doc.
Doc. Yeah.
Yeah, it obviously has inspiration of it, but in that moment I
It's Doc
didn't think of it. Like just years later, some people started asking like, what was the inspiration? I had to think about it. Like, I don't know. I still don't know. But yeah, of course that's a big part of it.
I also,
no, that I look back at it.
Nice. I also have to say, like, you could have never predicted this, but like, how fortunate is it that you're making a game about the multiverse when the
Yeah.
multiverse is such a thing now?
No.
Yep.
Like Marvel, all this. Like when I saw this, I was like, dude, because I know games take ages to make, and I'm like, could not be a better time for this game to come out. Like it's just like in everyone's mind.
I remember in the trailer, in the trailer that's in YouTube, one of the comments was like, "Oh, someone is trying to take a piece of the cake." I'm like, "Yeah, before the cake was a thing.
Well, because everyone who wants to make games like that, like, I mean, honestly, if anyone's going to get inspired by like Marvel's multiverse stuff now, we'll see those games in like 5 years, like it's like, it takes forever. So yeah, it's just like, it seems like great timing, honestly.
It started like a year after I studied astronomy in college. So yeah, I was like really into that theory and stuff, and I don't know, I liked the idea. And Rick and Morty could do better. That's just saying.
And you're here to fill in that gap. Actually, I want to ask... I'm curious because, I mean, my mind would kind of break anyway. But like, for those who like, just even a little bit of context for this game, like 2D, but you can switch between multiverses, and then puzzles can be solved in like many different fashions. And like, how did you make these puzzles? Like, my question is like I'm just wondering, like, what is your process towards creating these, like, and thinking about these worlds? Is it like, layering on levels to each other? Like, I'm just curious, like, what your kind of design process is. Yeah, okay.
It's a mess. It's a really big mess. It's fun, but it's confusing. I don't know. Everyone has seen me in like very bad moments, like very stuck in the creative process. Because it's very easy to, I don't know, like be repetitive in the puzzle making. Because the very basic ideas is like, all right, you have this thing in one universe, this thing in another one, so just make it interact with each other. But then you get so stuck with that idea that a lot of puzzles end up feeling the same, and that's tricky. There are a lot of puzzles that end up being discarded because they just wouldn't fit the game, or they weren't interested at all. But yeah, the process is messy. I don't have a guide, like a guideline of how to make it. So it probably takes a lot more time than it should. But I don't know.
So are you someone who do you like map out your levels? Like, do you like to draw them out, or do you just kind of go, okay, yeah, you map them out?
No, yeah, I draw them. A lot of time I use like color coding. Nice. I didn't have like a map for one universe, a map for the other. Like I interlap the two, and then like with colors I just made the differences, and I had to like map it out. Like, okay, you have to go here, change universes, so this thing will be here, so then you can stuff. And
have movements
all over the place.
I love it.
That's really cool though. I like it, like that idea of it's like you just have them both laid onto each other and then go through. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That is
just so you know, we also have another level designer in the team. That is Christopher Bolevi, and he's also very good. He's great at working with Vicente and giving these concepts and all of that.
Oh yeah.
If you puzzles in the demo, you're going to love the full game.
Good. Went through that whole demo, so yeah. Wait, actually, that brings me up to a good point. How big is your team actually? Because I realize we've sort of interviewed you, but yeah, how big is Studio Voyager?
Well, Studio Voyager is just the two of us.
Just the two of you, okay.
But the team has IguanaBee members that are working with us. We have. I would love to have a list right now.
I know now you're like, oh crap.
Give me
like 8 people.
8 people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so small team, about 10.
I want to name them because they are great.
Nice. Well, we'll
Good idea.
when you got them up here, we'll jump right back onto that then. Can I ask? Actually, this is more like the game development side, but I'm curious, like, because you have the two worlds, how does that work? Like, is it just like literally like switch changing? Are they like loaded? Like, I'm wondering how that switch mechanic works, because it was very smooth. Like as I'm playing through it, like it's just like click, boom, there it is, right? I'm curious, like, what was the process of making that work?
It has changed mainly because when I started making the game, I didn't know how to program, like how to code. It was like I sucked at coding. It was really messy. So it started shifting into a more organized way, but still, it's just you have one room where the game plays out, and you have the same room duplicated.
Yeah. Okay.
I just switch the colors, the stuff that is in it, and you just switch between the two. And you, in terms of coding, you just maintain the same coordinate. So if the room have the same size, it will be like being in the same room.
Cool. Sorry, that's the clarity.
It's not much more complicated, to be honest.
Yeah, that's cool. I was just curious because I'm like, I want to know. Like, what is this way of doing it? That's neat. Do you have that list? Should we hit those?
Yeah, I have the list. So we have my list. Where is my list? No, okay, here.
It's waiting to load on that internet connection.
On the art department, we have Andre Martinez and Diego Ramirez. Andre Martinez is the one doing the scenarios and doing all the all the art about the whole world that is going on. And Diego Ramirez specializes on the animations of the whole characters, everything that comes to life. We have Christopher Relewi, as I said, is the one that's doing the level designers and all of that. And we have Oscar Gacitua, who is the programmer. And he's a magician, definitely a magician.
Basically.
I'm studying programming on the university, and I don't have no idea what he's doing most of the time.
Are you just like looking at him like, how'd you do
didn't
that?
study like anything related to coding.
Yeah, it's coding.
He's really good at it.
Yeah.
I remember when I was making the first portion of the game, I was stuck like 3 months, basically, just making the character float correctly in water. Like that took a lot of time, and then we had like minor spoilers. The character had to run in ice.
Wait. Are you even able to discuss?
It's fine.
It's on the trailer. The character runs in ice.
Oh yeah, it's just ice. That's fine. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
Yes, ice. And
To know before, just in case.
Oscar took like 1 day to make that. Like, we asked him like, okay, could you do this in like 1 week or something? And the next day, she's like,
at the beginning
right,
of the
I need more tax. I'm done with this.
Yeah, it was at the beginning of development. We didn't know how the times were going to work and all of that. He literally did what Vicente took like a year to do it in 3 days and something like that. It was like, he's a magician, definitely a magician.
So there's the partnerships are a great idea then, huh?
Yeah,
Definitely. Absolutely.
And we have on the music side Ronnie Antares, who is a god, to be honest.
Yeah, that music is awesome.
The music was in the demo was composed by Vicente, but the music was literally remade by Ronnie.
Arranged. Yeah.
Rearranged by Ronnie for the demo, because in the first demo, the prototype that we had, it was very different, to be honest. It was good music.
It was a lot more basic.
Yeah. No, it was
The melody was the same. The rhythm, you could feel it's the same song, but if you hear it back to back, like the old version and the new version, you can see like, all right, this guy knows what he's doing.
What
Like,
she's doing.
he's incredible. He's incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
Everett's
Hey, Ron-
theme, every time it came on, I was like, do a little dance. I was like, it's great.
And we have also Guillermo Gomez, who is the other producer in the IguanaBee side of things, who helps me a lot, to be honest. He knows a lot about the industry as a whole, because this is my first project, and not only that, I haven't worked in game development ever in my life before this. So yeah, having someone that knows what they're doing, to be honest, is very helpful.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy for you guys. This is great. Like, it sounds like you guys have a great thing going. What do you think, Rick, Paula? Do you have any other questions that we should ask? We're getting long on here.
I mean, I want to know. I want to know what the timescale is for the Vita port. What we should expect from that. Stuff like that.
Rick's like, it better be coming. I know there's no store soon, but it better be coming.
And if it isn't,
I need
there better be
my
a
physical
fucking good
edition and my
reason.
collector's edition, even if it's just.
The producer is listening. I don't know.
I mean,
the GBA port will come earlier.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Listen. Let's not be silly. Let's not be silly. Fuck the GBA. Vita.
How dare you, good sir? Yeah.
Let's not say stupid things. Let's not say stupid things.
Hey! We don't disrespect the Vita, so we don't disrespect the GBA.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's be nice here.
We are an all handheld family. Okay, we like all of them. They're all great. Even the Game Gear. All right, we're good.
Especially the Game Gear.
Especially, yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. We would love to, like, I think we'd love to have you guys back on too when the game launches, because I think that'll be pretty exciting time to like hear all about I don't know. I think that'll be fun, right? And you guys can get to celebrate a little bit, you know?
I will love to.
Great.
And we can talk. We can do two one spoilers also.
Yeah, there we go. We'll play the game and then we'll
Ooh,
spoiler talk. Oh, that would be so much fun. Okay, yeah. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
because we can talk. Because at that point we can talk a lot about the backside of things. So with a lot of details.
Oh,
That'd be awesome.
You bet we'll be pulling you in as much as we can there.
So then we'll have like a regular episode, like post-release, and then like the New Game Plus is gonna be the spoiler tag and the special stuff.
There you go. All right, so
Love it.
here it's now time for How Long to Beat the Game. For those who are uninitiated, this is our excellent game where we take a game and we guess how long does it take to beat. So the way it works is like we've got the main plus 100%. You've got basically if you choose to do all of them, you have a 5-hour leeway. If you do 2, you get a 3-hour leeway. And if you only choose 1, you get a 1-hour leeway. So basically, like, you know, yeah. So the game this week, which I think maybe this might be the first time when we have guests on. Usually the game is horrendously difficult, but I think this game might be okay. It's God of War 2.
Wait, actually, shouldn't we have like 2 guest spots?
They could,
Because we have
sure,
2
yeah.
guests.
Well, if one of you gets it correct, if you both get it correct, double the points for the guests.
How dare you? I'm
my
fighting
God.
Vicente in this one.
Yeah, good. Fight there. So we've got our guests one here. So I'm gonna make, like Paula said, I'm gonna make one, and then yeah, perfect. So you can type it in even right into the Google Doc if you want, or just tell us, and either one is fine. So yeah, God of War 2, the PlayStation 2 classic. Let's see here.
Hang on, I thought they delayed that. I thought Ragnarok wasn't releasing for a while.
Oh, you're very funny.
Wait, God of War 2
Rick's
for
been a little
which
sad.
console again?
The PS2. It's the PS2 one. God of War Ragnarok hasn't come out yet. Don't do this to me.
I was just wondering because like don't we have like that cruise going on for all PlayStation games?
Oh, the curse. Yeah, but that's for PS1. Oh, yeah, you're right. We always under guess PS1 games, or over. We do bad things with PS1 games. I'm gonna go 10, 11, 15. That's what I'm gonna do.
I am going 12, 13, 15.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I don't think it's crazy long. I remember these games are pretty linear. Very fun, but linear.
Wait, I don't think I understood the format. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You mean like the minimum, the maximum, and
So
how much you take to 100% it?
yes. So yeah, main is like, so on How Long to Beat, they've got like main, the main time is just like you just go through and you just beat the story. Main plus extras is like you do some side quests and stuff. And then 100% is just completionist. You did everything.
Doing everything.
Yeah. So usually
Right.
main is the smallest time. Main plus a little more, etc.
It's in hours, though.
Yeah, in hours.
The-
Yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes in half hours as well.
Not in hours, please.
Well, I'm
No,
going to
you
add a half
can-
hour.
You can do half hours.
I'm going to say 11
You're
hours.
just gonna be petty like that.
You'll just break my heart a little bit more.
For some reason, Rick hates the half hours, even though he uses them all the time. But I don't know.
That's
I'm
never
gonna
happened. I don't know what you're talking
just
about.
use half an
Literally
hour
never
there
happened.
out of spite.
Okay.
I think the one time it did happen, it was about, you're right, Paolo, just like as a point of just wind up.
So let's see. What do we got here? We've got, and yeah, so like we said, if you do all three, you get 5 hours like here or there. So if it's like, yeah. So let's see. What are our times that we got here? We've got 9, 10, and 13. Actually, why don't we all just say them? So I'm going to go with 10, 11 and a half, and 15. Rick?
I've done 11, 13, 15.
10 and a half, 11, and 15 and a half.
I went with 8, 9, and 9.5.
And I went with 9, 10, and 13.
Moment of truth, folks. Let's
Interesting.
find it out. Could this be the first time the guests get it right? Time to find out.
I think it might be.
Okay, main story, 12 hours. So far, so good.
Pop, pop.
Main plus
Uh-huh.
extras, 13 hours. Completionist,
Uh-huh.
14 hours. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
Both
sorry.
guests. No, you got it. That's good. Because you have a 5 hour
5
leeway.
points
So you're
for
good.
that.
Which means
Okay.
both
Look
of
at
you
points.
got points. Well done, good sirs. You've just you've just put the guests on the board with 10 points. Yeah.
Finally.
God knows the guests
Amazing.
need every point they can get.
Yeah, now there's hope. Wait, yeah, I know, because at this point, Rick and I have 118 points, and Paolo just broke 100, so you're at 103. Woo! And our guests are at 10. But that 10 is like 100, frankly, because, guests are not very often. Thank you both so much for joining us today. This has been an absolute pleasure. And that's that. Where can we catch you guys and whatnot? What Lies in the Multiverse is coming? Oh no, I should have looked it up first. Switch, right? Isn't it all main consoles? Hold on.
It's
All
coming
my
to
consoles.
Switch. Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yeah, and PC. of
And
course.
Steam.
PC and Steam.
Yeah.
And Vita.
And GPA. And Wii U. That's important.
Oh yes, and Wii U.
And
there you
Wii
go.
Yeah.
And-
TBA.
And Sega Nomad's like to be announced, right?
Yeah, coming soon.
Where's the Virtual Boy version?
And we can tag if you guys want to send us anything you want us to link to, like Twitches or whatever. We'll link those in the description so people can check you guys out.
Yes.
Awesome. Toodles.
Till next time, guys.
Bye.
All right. Thank you all.